reading now is, I'm trying to concentrate on the main issues, the main, let's say, decisions that the Knesset made, trying to analyze what is because of ethical reason, what is because Jewish state reasons, okay? And then to check what is missing. Okay, let's go slowly. Okay, so let's read a few chapters, okay? The first thing, first of all, is the name of the law, okay? The name of the law, it's not here.
No, it says at the top.
It's not. Where do you see?
Appendix B, surrogate.
No, this is the Appendix B is of the book that I copied it. Okay, it's not the name of the law. Appendix B is okay. It's not okay. So okay, so the name of the law is missing here, but the approval, you see the word approval is part of the law, of the name of the law, of the title. Okay, so let's read it. Approval of the agreement and status of the newborn. Okay. Now, first of all, where did I get it from? It's someone from Sweden that she's a doctor. She made she wrote her PhD trying to compare all kinds of surrogacy approaches all over the world. So she came to Israel. She met me as a expert, and then she wrote her PhD or wrote the book, and I asked her to send me the copy, at least that I'll do it, that I'll get anything from it. So she sent me the translation. I didn't translate it. As you see, it's a Aryeh Greenfield. I don't know. Probably it's Israeli that helped her, but this is the translation. Okay. So as you see, this is what we call a very narrow law. Why do I mean a narrow law? The name is not the surrogacy motherhood law. Okay. The law actually deals, as you see, with two issues. One is the approval of the agreement, okay? This is one thing. And the second thing is the status of the newborn, okay? So, actually, if I'm trying to analyze it, the meaning is that the society, I mean the Knesset, the Israeli society, decided to interfere. That means the agreement is not only between the couple and the carrier, right? There's a law. And the law says we are gonna check, and we have all kinds of, first of all, we have all kinds of standards. What should the approval look like, or at least what is very important for us that the approval, the agreement, excuse me, will include, okay? Will include, so it's very important for us. So therefore, we are gonna say, these are our conditions. You cannot, it's not freedom of choice, it's not freedom of work, it's not freedom of, even of, expression, yes. There is a law and agreement between, the agreement should be between the boundaries of the law, the restrictions of the law. And the second thing is, and you can understand from now, that if there is a law and if there are restriction, and if there are legislations, you have to create a body that will approve it, that will check it, at least check approval in advance, or check it if it was done according to the law. And the second thing is, and that's obvious, I mean, the first thing is not obvious. The first thing is a ethical decision. The second thing is obvious because, I'll explain what I'm saying. The first part, approval of the agreement, means that from ethical reasons, we think that we cannot leave the decision. How should the agreement look like for the negotiations between the couple and the carrier? They are integral part, they are very important, whatever, but we are not going to leave it to them. We as a society have a policy, we have a philosophy, we have ethical opinions, we have all kinds of issues, and therefore we are going to be part of it.
They have no influence on the agreement?
Who?
The couple.
No, they have the most influence on the agreement. But we too, the society too. That's the fact that they have first of all, the freedom of signing I mean, they have the main thing of the agreement. They can write it, they have all kinds of conditions, whatever. The law is a narrow law that says, but these are the conditions, these are the borders, these are the guidelines, okay? That's one thing.
I don't understand what's the actual law.
What?
I don't understand what the actual law is. That what?
Let's read. That approves, that permits, first of all. It's the following. That, I don't know if to say it, you can say it this way or that way. That actually says, if you want to sign a contract between a carrier and someone else, okay, you must do it according to these rules, okay? So therefore that means, from one hand, that the law permits to do that, and from now on the government or the police or the Ministry of Health cannot say, I don't do this kind of work, because it's a law. On the other hand, there are restrictions, okay? Okay, that's like every law, okay? Without this law, two things could have happened. One, that everybody would have done whatever he wants, or from the other hand is that the Ministry of Health will say, no. And he is not, and then there'll be the couple will appeal to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, so instead of the Supreme Court making the decisions, the Knesset decided, as a democratic state, to make a law, okay? Now, keep in mind all the time, we're trying to analyze what's ethical, or what actually is a consequence of ethical reasons, and what is a result of Jewish halacha. And we'll see that there are all kinds of combinations, okay? The second thing is the status of the newborn. And that's, here you'll see the incredible fact, how does a law in Israel look when you're trying to combine between state and church or state and synagogue. And this will be a big mess, okay? So let's start, okay. So let's read. In this law, so definition, okay? Interpretation, definition. In this law, birth mother, a woman pregnant for intended parents. Now, you read it, and okay, I understand that. But this line had so many conversations, and still conversations. And why? Because as you see, actually, we are not calling her a carrier. We are not calling her an human incubator or whatever. She's been titled as a mother. That's as a mother. The birth mother, carrier, is a mother. Now, the couples are very annoyed. She's not the mother, they claim. She is whatever, but she's not the mother. I mean, the only thing I can say about the couple's claim, that she is not the mother. Why did you call her the mother? Now, this reason was from ethical reasons, and I'll explain. I'm not sure it was the right decision to do, but I want to make. But I want to explain that every word here it's a law. I mean, it's every word. Now, I'm saying something that I'll have to withdraw from it. But until now, every word is very important, okay? So, the decision, the dilemma was the following. The weak part of this contract, of this agreement, is the carrier. Actually, she schleps. She's carrying the infant for 9 months. She's given birth. She's gone back home empty. Think about it. Okay, money is not something.
She's not going home empty though.
Yeah, she's gone. I mean, empty. That's right. She's out with money, with a lot of money. Okay. We should protect her. We should protect her. She's the weak part. So therefore, the first thing is emotionally. Emotionally, we don't want to call her an incubator. This is from. I mean, the reason was from ethical reasons. And that you should protect her definition. her identity, her, respect. That's a good word. Self-respect. So therefore, there was a decision to call it. Now, keep it in mind, we'll need it later, that from most of the ethical experts felt that the most important thing to do in this law is to protect her. Because the couple are the strong people there, okay? Now, second, intended parents, okay? Parents, that means no singles. No singles. This is not, now we are talking about who can order, who can, let's call it rent, a carrier, okay? And the law in Israel says only couple. Let's read again. A man and woman who are supposed and who contracted with the birth mother for a birth of a child, okay?
So there has to be a wedding recognized by the state? So they have to be married as...
No, not married.
You have to prove that you have a couple?
Yeah.
And the man, okay. So how come there are gay couples?
There are no.
In Israel, it's illegal?
It's illegal. This is the change. Now, I'm talking about next week. But first of all, so in Israel, it's illegal, and this is part of the religious party's demand. We don't want to use this law in order to promote or, to advance recognition of gay marriage or lesbian marriage, okay? So therefore, they insist that only a couple can appeal or can sign a contract, okay? And this was acceptable 21 years ago. Nobody thought about gays and about lesbians. The new draft that was that is now in the Knesset is wants to change that, but in a very, very strange way. The new law is going to say, and we'll discuss it next week or in 2 weeks, wants to say that single women can and single men no. Now this opinion has been attacked from both sides. The religious parties claim we don't want single women to have babies with a surrogacy process. And
Single women or 2 women?
What?
2 women.
Doesn't matter. No, we don't. Why?
You've got single women.
One is single. Single women means 2 women. No. That doesn't mean single can be single. There can be 2 singles, 3 singles, and 4 singles. Because we don't recognize marriage between the same sex. Yeah. So this is from the liberal part. The new draft is being attacked. Because why to distinguish between men and women? So this is going to be a big mess. This is going to be a big argument. And I assume, you never know. In politics, you never know what will pass. But I'm talking from the ethical point of view, okay? From the ethical point of view, it's very problematic. The fact that only a couple, and actually 2 years, I think it was in 1998 or 1999, if I'm not mistaken, one single woman appealed to the Supreme Court against the law. What happened to her? She had a car accident, as far as I remember, and she lost her womb, but she had eggs. And she wanted to have a baby in surrogacy. And she claimed towards the Supreme Court that the 3 times I was injured. First of all, I lost my womb. Second, nobody wants to marry me. Third, I cannot have a baby. It's not fair. Now, it was the session was with 7 judges. Because it's a session against a law. It's not only a single judge or 3. It's against law, and she lost. She lost, but the Supreme Court wrote a note in the Psak Din. They wrote a note to the Knesset that the Knesset should figure again and think again about their opinion. It took 20 years. No, the Knesset actually created a committee that will, a philosopher, ethical people. I was part of this committee, and we recommended to the Knesset not to change the law yet, because I'm not going to explain why. And now, after 21 years, probably they thought that it's time to change the law from ethical point of view against the religious and against the liberal. Yeah, it's going to be a big argument. It's going to be a big argument. But we're not talking politics. We want to understand what is the problem in a Jewish democratic state. And this is, you see, when you read the details, you see that every word here is full of tension. Okay? Okay.
Would have to be married?
What? No. They have to be a couple. Not married is too much. Okay.
What happens if they break up in the time that they make the agreement?
It's part of it. It's part of it. No. If they break, I'm not sure. No, it's not part of the law. We expect that they'll write, when they write the contract, they will do that. It was a big known case. It's a known case in Israel that happened already, and there was a disagreement between him. It's a big, and there is only one baby in Israel that has actually 4 mothers, 4 legal mothers, and it even could be 5. I mean, there was a couple that she didn't have eggs. She bought an egg from one woman. She was the second. They planted it in a third woman. They broke. They got divorced through pregnancy, and the child was given to adoption. Okay, so every mother has a. Now this. Okay, so now why I'm saying what?
And then the father remarried?
I don't know. Okay.
There might be a fifth.
Okay, no. If the father remarried, she wouldn't have. No, the thing is that today you can, even the egg can be from 2 different women. The garin, how do you say, the core from one, the seed, and the mitochondria, I don't know if you heard about it. Yeah, is from another woman. You can separate between it. So therefore there can be 5 women that every one of them has actually something. But it's okay. So you see, what else do I want to emphasize? Let's see what was the decision about a carrier, about being the carrier being married. Okay, can she be married or not? Married or not? Okay. So it's where is that? Yeah. One minute. Yeah. Look, please find chapter 2. Okay. Okay. Number 2, 3. The birth mother. You see? Everybody found it? Okay? The birth mother. Now, look how does the law in Israel looks like. Okay? The birth mother is not married. If this was the end of the sentence, so the conclusion is the carrier cannot be married. Who demanded this?
The religious party.
The religious parties. Yeah, because there are a few poskim that claim that he may be a mamzel, because actually it's someone else's baby from sperm that is someone else that is not her husband in her body, in her womb. Okay? So there were poskim that say very minority, but some poskim said he's not a mamzer, but it's not prohibited, and whatever. So therefore, the religious demands were accepted, but the problem is that from ethical point of view, we prefer she'll be married. Why do we prefer that she'll be married from the ethical point of view? One, probably she has babies of her own before she became a carrier, so therefore she knows what she is signing. She if she loses the ability to give birth because of the fact she's a carrier for medical reasons, but she'll be, she has a baby of her own. She has a husband. She will support her. She has, okay. So what to do? So now look how a law looks like. It's not married, but the approval committee may approve a contract with a birth mother who is a married woman, if it was proven to its satisfaction that the intended parents did not manage by reasonable efforts to enter into a surrogate motherhood agreement with a brother who is not married. Unbelievable. Now, I think this paragraph really demonstrates the advantage of the challenge, not the advantage, the disadvantage, the challenge of a Jewish state, a Jewish democrat state, because it's trying to satisfy two different directions of thinking. Okay? And as I said, from the ethical point of view, it's much better that it's better, I don't know much, it's better that she'll be married from the religious point of view. So therefore, they're trying to make a kind of a compromise. Now, this paragraph is I see you want to ask something.
In reality...
now I'm going to speak about reality. Now, what happened in reality? I'm now giving you the facts, and analyzing it, we need more work to do, okay? But the facts are the following. If I remember correctly, I don't remember, I think until 2013, if I remember correctly, so it's almost 20 years of the law, 17 years of the law, there were only 2 married women that signed contract. One failed, the pregnancy failed. She didn't have a live baby, and the second one, I think, succeeded. Since 2013 until now, it was escalating. Today, I assume 50% of the carriers are married. 50%. This is not the meaning of the. And later on, I'll have to explain why. And what's more interesting is that the percentage of religious married women that are willing or demanding, depends what term do you use, to be a carrier is very high. Very high. You can't check who's religious, who's not religious, so you don't have real statistics. It's not legal to ask, are you religious or not, but I'm talking from experience, okay? Approximately 30%, between 30 to 40% of the married women that are carriers are religious, and that's amazing. That's amazing, and we'll have to explain why, okay? What happened? But let's go back to this, okay? Actually, if you see, the approval committee has a lot of power in its hands, because who will make the decision? What is a reasonable effort? What are reasonable efforts? When we started in 2005, reasonable efforts made were 2 years, 8 times of writing advertising in newspapers, call whatever. Today, reasonable efforts is writing twice in a website that you are looking for and it's enough. So it has a lot. That's from one hand. I mean, the committee has a lot of power in order to enable women, but if you see, the committee also has a lot of power because the approval may approve. That means that even if you'll prove that you made all the efforts for 5 years, the approval committee still can reject you. So this is actually giving a lot of power to the approval committee. So now we're gonna learn something new in ethics, and something is very important. The question is, who do you think should be the approval committee? And when I'm asking who, I'm not talking Moshe or Zich. I'm asking what capacity, what professionals should be in the approval committee, and who do you think should be the head, the chair? What should this committee include? For instance, should it include a doctor, a gynecolog? The answer is, I'm not so sure. It's not a medical decision. From the other hand, definitely, right? Should it include a rabbi? From one hand, a state should force that a rabbi will sit in a state committee? From the other hand, this kind of committee without a rabbi or a priest or whatever, I mean, everyone, yeah, understand? So now what I want to explain is that in ethics, the question who is not only what are the values, is not only what is the concept. In ethics, it's very important who is the body that will impose it or will conduct it. And there are things that one Knesset member, one Haredi Knesset member said the following. You know, there's a big argument in Israel if we should have a constitution or not. And if Israel, I think there are only 2 states in the world that don't have a constitution, okay? And Israel is one of them. I don't know. Britain and maybe New Zealand too. I don't know exactly what's happening. I mean, so 3, okay? And we don't have a constitution. And there's a big conversation around it. I don't want to, but one Haredi Knesset member said the following: we are against constitution, even if the constitution of Israel will be Aseret HaDibrot. Even if the Knesset will say the constitution is Aseret HaDibrot, we are against. Why? Because who will commentate? Who's the body that's going to commentate the constitution? The Supreme Court. So therefore, let's say that they say lo tin'af. What is ni'uf? The Supreme Court can say that 2 gays are not ni'uf. So therefore, the commentating has much more power than the essence, than the value, so therefore, it's very important in ethics to ask yourself who's the body. Who is the body that is making decisions? And again, you know, let's not go far. Let's speak about our yeshiva. Who should be the body that decides if a student will be accepted for next year? For instance, should Hillel be part of the party, part of the committee? Because if he's part of the body, that means that the finance situation of the parents will be a factor, right? And should I be? Because it means that what is important for me? I don't know, you know, that he'll be interested in combining or not combining, inspiring the Torah by things that are around it. For instance, you understand? So the body is very important. It's very important. Let's read about the body. Who should the body look in the same page? Approval committee, you see? And who should appoint this body? If it's the Ministry of Health, he has a lot of power. If it's the Ministry of who knows what, of Agriculture, or should it be a judge, or should the Knesset establish this? You understand? So everything that usually we feel about it, no, it's only administration. It's not important. Do it this way, that way is very, very important. Okay? So as you see, 2 physicians, a certificate as a specialist in childbirth and how do you say gynecology? Okay? A physician that is and now you see it's number 6, a religious personality in accordance with the religions of the parties to the surrogate, okay? So you see, no, this is not, okay, so you see that the state decided that a religious will be there, a religious personality, but if you realize, actually, if you write this number 6, it means what's happening if the egg is from Christianity, Christian girl, and the carrier is a Jew. So according to the law in Israel, against, and this is again, according to the law somewhere, they must be from the same. Look, number 5. You see in our chapter 2, number 5. The birth mother is in the same religion as the intended mother, but if all parties to this agreement are non-Jews, then the committee may digress. What's digress? Kind of withdraw. Yeah, digress from the paragraph is וכולי. That means that the state decided that Jews can make those contracts only with Jews. Is this a religious decision or ethical decision? So this is a very interesting thing. It's both. Why? From the religious reason, definitely. But it's also from the ethical reason. And that is because I'm not talking about religion, about it. The child will suffer if he will have two entities. He will be not recognized as a Jew, not recognized as a Christian. So in order to protect the child, the expected child, so even the ethical decided to agree with this. Okay. Now we come to the real main problem. And that is, who is the mother? Who is the legal mother? Okay? In order to, if it was a, you know what, think for a second, please, not more than a second, as non-religious people. What, only a second, okay? What will you write in the law, who is the mother?
The intended mother.
No doubts, right? No doubts that the intended mother is the mother, because this is the core of this agreement. This is the reason. I mean, all the process is in the core. Okay, that the intended mother is the mother. No doubts about that, right? From the religious point of view, now it's very problematic. Why? We didn't learn why, because it's not part of the shiur, but actually there are 5 halachic opinions. Okay, 5 halachic opinions. And all the options. The first one is the intended mother. Like, okay, the second option is
neither.
רגע, לפני neither. The carrier, right? The third,
neither.
The fourth, both. And the fifth, זה כבר אמרנו. The fifth is, go לחומרה, all of them. Like the halacha loves, right? When we don't know what to do, go לחומרה. That means that he will not inherit his mother, or he'll sit shiva on both. I understand?
Wasn't 4 both? What's the difference between 4?
No, 5 is, go לחומרה, maybe both and maybe neither. So therefore, he will not inherit one of them, but he'll sit shiva on both. Okay, so that's, you see.
Is it like common?
What?
This opinion, is it common? This opinion, the fifth one, that's that both.
And it's very common in halacha, very common in halacha.
In this case.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. If you'll ask, if for instance someone made surrogacy agreement abroad, yeah, and the egg is from a Christian woman and the carrier is a Jew, or lehefech, what will you as a rabbi say? Giyur lechumra. You'll say giyur lechumra in both cases, even though it's a contradiction. Why?
I don't want to take the risk.
That's right. Okay. Now, what to write in the law?
And in the case you talked about before, where the eggs are from a mother who's not the intended mother, so the intended mother has no status in halacha.
That's right.
Right.
Here, I give you a nice story. A nice story. One day, Friday, 20 minutes before Shabbos, I get a phone call. Hello, it's Chedva. You know, me and names is not who. I'm Chedva from Haifa. You helped me with the surrogacy contract that I signed a year ago. Well, I'm going to be a mother. The carrier is now on her way to the delivery room. Mazel tov, but I have a problem. She's in Be'er Sheva, she's gone to Soroka Hospital. I'm in Haifa. I want to stand near my baby from the minute he was born. That means to go drive on Shabbos. Okay? I said, I understand, but I don't I don't have any skills to say that you're permitted to drive on Shabbos for this reason. I mean, but I told her, I'll give you a phone call, a phone number of a very high-level rabbi, much more than me, and call him. And if he'll let you to go, please call me and teach me that I'll know for next time. Okay. After 10 minutes, she's calling again, and I hear she's in a car. You can hear, she's in the car through the echo. And okay, he told me I could go. I asked her why, and he told me that because according to the law, I'm the mother. Okay, so therefore they will not. If there will be an emergency case, I must sign the informed consent, and therefore, if I'll not be there, there may be a disaster. So therefore, I'm permitted to go there. That if there will be emergency cases, if you will lead, if potentially, if I'll have to sign the emergency. Okay, so that's kind of question. I'm not sure he was right. And I'll give you another story, very interesting story. Ma?
You can do a grandma.
Grandma. I don't like the grandma. Okay, if she can drive, let her drive, and if not, say no. I'm not a supporter of the grandma. But how can you drive in grandma? With your tongue?
No, like my brother has times when he's called by the army.
No, but okay.
Like
but she doesn't have it. I mean, the carrier is giving birth. She has 10 minutes to make decisions. I mean, she doesn't have. You'll not now produce all the cars in the world, all the Toyotas with a grandma system for Shabbos. This will be surrogacy then. Okay. Now I'll give you another story. That it's not. It's also a very problematic story. A carrier gave birth on Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, and she gave birth Thursday, and the couple took the baby. The carrier were still in the hospital, and they took the baby for Shabbos home, and the hospital told them to come back on Sunday to check that everything is okay, to make the legal transmission from the carrier to the okay. Friday afternoon, the baby got fever. So therefore, they immediately went to the hospital, and then they came to the delivery room, emergency room. I don't remember. And the guide there, the security guide, asked the father, "Who are you?" "I'm the father." "Prove it." So he had, "Who are you?" "The mother." "I'm the mother." "Where's the?" "You don't have one. You stole the baby," and he arrested her. Now he should get a tzalash. He should be prized. He was aware. And he didn't. He was sure that someone is going to steal a baby from the hospital, and he should get, a reward. Really, he did what he had to do, but she was arrested. I mean, after half an hour, the matter, but it's a real story. I mean, so it's very complicated. Okay, now from what the law writes the following. The law in Israel writes the following, and this is the main. When I have to prove what is the problem of halacha and state, the problem, first of all, I'll summarize, and then I will read the details. The problems of trying to fit the halacha and the state is not only the contradiction between, modern liberal democracy and halacha. This is the easiest part. The main problem is that the halacha refuses to make decisions. And that is, let's say I'm now the Ministry of Health, and I'm coming to the halacha and asking them, please, I'll write the law according to halacha. What is the halacha? The problem is, as I said, there are 5 systems. What to write in the law? What to do? You understand the problem? And that is one of the main advantages that we have, that we don't have a pope and that someone that tells, I'm Christianity, I'm Judaism, I'm the halacha. But on the other hand, a state cannot work without an institute that make the decisions. And there's no one. There's no kind of these decisions. Now, let's see what...
They don't have, within Israel, they've got the Rabbanut Harashit.
The Rabbanut Harashit...
Doesn't know enough?
No, I didn't say that. The Rabbanut Harashit refuses to make those decisions because they claim that there are Gdolei Torah higher than them out of the Rabbanut Harashit, and you have to ask them.
Okay.
But the Gdolei Torah are, for instance, in this case, Rav Eliyahu Zecher Tzadik Livracha, that was the chief rabbi, said that the carrier is the halachic mother. Okay? And Rav Ovadia Yosef, that was Zecher Tzadik Livracha, that was the chief rabbi, said that the intended mother is the... No. Yeah, that the intended mother, the source of the egg, maybe not the intended mother even, the genetic matter is the halachic mother. No, but to write it the law. And this is one of the problems that people don't figure. That when we are talking about Jewish state, okay, I'm not talking about reforms, I'm not talking about conservatives, and even it's not the argument between Zionist religious and Haredi. It's not the issue. The issue is that a state has institutes that make decisions, right? The elections yesterday in the United States, the first thing that President Obama said, we will transmit transfer. We will transfer. Okay, the governor, how do you say that? Shilton, will transfer it because this is the system. And there's only one president until 20th, January 20th, right? It's Obama, and January 21st, it will be Trump. Unbelievable, but it will be Trump. Okay, so therefore, this is now in halacha. There's nothing like it. So how can you talk about a Jewish state if there's no? Now let's see what is in the law. Okay, now in the law, where are we? The status, and בזה נסיים. Where's the system? Approval agreement, payments. It's so mixed up here.
Parentage order.
איפה זה? איזה עמוד? What page?
223.
223?
Chapter 3, 11.
Yeah, it's that. Okay. So, let's read only 2 to 3. We need 2 to 4. Where's 2 to 4? Yeah. Okay. So actually, no order. Where's the? Doesn't have any. No, maybe it's still 2 to 3. 1 minute. Excuse me. Status. I thought it's here. 2 to 4. Yeah, it took number 12BA. You see, effects of parentage order. You see? Okay? So the law says the following. I'm reading BA. Okay? Excuse me. B. Okay? A parentage order shall not derogate from rules of prohibition and permission for purpose of marriage and divorce. Now let's analyze this sentence. What actually it says? It says that we are not making decisions. I mean, the main issue of halachic status is, can you marry or not marry? Who's responsible on this issue? In Israel? Not the state, the rabbinate, right? Or the rabbinate actually appointed or nominated the state, the state nominated the rabbanut to be charge of it, okay? So therefore, the law says we are not going in halacha questions. Okay? When the child will want to be married, he will go to the Rabbanut, yeah? And the Rabbanut will tell him if he can marry or not marry, right? Now that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable by a state to tell people that you are starting a process where you don't know what will be the destination. You don't get me yet. Yeah, wait a minute, wait a second. Now, because the rabbinate didn't make the decision, that means that the rabbinate court in Petach Tikva may say he is a Jew, and the rabbinate court in Ra'anana may say he is a non-Jew, and you don't know in advance. You don't know in advance, yeah? So, because you are starting this contract, let's say that there are all kinds of questions about his status, his identity, halachic identity, and the Lord didn't make the decisions. The Lord said, let the rabbinate make the decisions in 20 years. I mean, when he'll want to get married. So that's, again, demonstrates the problem of a Jewish state. So actually we said two things. That first of all is trying to combine all kinds of values, ethical values and Jewish values or whatever, and have a lot of what to say about it, but next week. The second problem is, even if you make the decision that you want a Jewish state according to halacha, you'll be in trouble. You'll be in trouble. For instance, organ transplantation, rabbi says it's murder, and other rabbi says it's a mitzvah. What to do? What to write in the law? What to do with surrogacy? Who is the child? And etc., etc., etc. All kinds. So this is one of the real challenges that we don't know how to solve, because everybody is sure that he is the halacha. Yeah, I'm the halacha, and you're, the foolish. So this is really something very important that we studied today. Next time, and that will be the end, we'll say a few things about ethical problems with this law that the new draft is trying to fix. And we'll read the new draft. I don't have a translation into English, so we'll read it in Hebrew, the new draft, and then, yalla, speak, we'll go to another issue, okay?